Welcome back to my channel. My name is Maddie, and if you're new here, this is Maddie Sews, and today we are making a Belle Villager costume. Now, this dress was inspired primarily by the fact that I just finished making Belle's gold dress, and as soon as I finished it, the first thought that popped into my head is, there would be so many transition options for my shorts content if I made a Belle's Villager dress. So apparently I got so hooked onto that idea that I made a full video about it, and that is the one you are watching today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started on this hopefully very easy project. Okay, so like I said, I am wanting to go for a more decorative villager dress, kind of a weird mesh of being historically accurate and also just a really cutesy cottagecore dress. So I have collected all of my materials, and my intention today is to do the plain blue bodice with a little bit of a internal V-cut just to add some more dimension, because I have a figure. This dress doesn't exactly flatter a figure unless it's obviously an animated character. And then I also wanted to do a little bit of a V silhouette I wanted to do a little bit of a V insert with some of this absolutely stunning lace straps that I had. Preferably with kind of this crisscrossy cut in the middle. And then I'm going to decorate the sides of that with this really cute eyelet lace and some of this really pretty beaded lace, I guess. And then finally, I also am going to do some cutouts of this beautiful blue rose lace, which I will put on the sides as well. And I think it'll just look extremely cute. Now for the main body of the skirt, we have this denim fabric, which at first I thought, oh, it's gonna look too much like pants. But the longer I look at it, the more I'm like, oh, this is perfect, because I'm trying to go for more of a rustic flavor more of a rustic style, which honestly goes perfectly with the original theme of the gown, if we're being honest. Now, I'm following that up with the same kind of rustic flair with the apron, which I'm using this kind of like satiny brocade fabric. It's a weird fabric because the back is satin and the front is kind of this extremely easily fraying brocade. But I really like what it looks like, and I think it'll help a lot. And then finally, we just have this white fabric to line the bodice. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut everything out. One quick note, I'm gonna be winging this pattern for the most part. I'm really trying to keep this as simple as possible. And the back is gonna be a lace up, hopefully. And then the front is going to just be a simple cut and dried bodice. So now that I've kind of explained what she's gonna look like, I'm gonna go ahead and cut everything out, and I will meet you back once everything's done. For the patterns, I'm gonna try to keep a very simple pattern concept. I think I'm just gonna draft it myself to save time. Essentially, the skirt is going to be a 5 or 6 panel skirt, kind of the same silhouette as a circle skirt. I've just realized in the past that my circle skirts tend to show absolutely everything when I'm spinning around, so I'm trying to save myself from that problem today. And then the bodice is just gonna be a simple 2 side bust panels, a center front panel with the inset like I had told you, and then the back is essentially the front without the front darts. So now that I've kind of explained what our pattern looks like, let's go ahead and cut everything out. Hey guys, here's what our bodice is looking like. So now I'm gonna go ahead and sew the lining together and the bodice together, and then we'll get started on sewing the skirt. Hey guys, so quick update. If I remember right, I think I told you I'm gonna be doing eyelets up the sides instead of a general zipper in the back. So the next steps that I'm going to do after I attach all of the main bodice and main lining pieces together is attach the lining and bodice pieces together that are going to connect. And then once that's done, I will move on to adding eyelets to the sides of the bodice. Here's the main center bodice and what she looks like. I'm super proud of her. I think she looks fantastic. And now I'm gonna go ahead and attach her to the lining piece. Hey guys, well, we have the two bodice panel pieces done, and now my intention is to attach eyelets on both sides from here to here after I attach the shoulder panels together. Now the next plan is to basically put the skirt together using a just regular ruffled hem at the bottom. I am gonna add some trim along the edge of the ruffle, but otherwise the skirt is basically a 3-panel skirt, and it's going to be attached to the bodice with a elastic hem so that I can have an opening on each side of the hips so I can get the garment on without having to add a zipper. So I'm gonna do a little bit more sewing with that tonight, see how far I can get, and then lastly with this project we will put together our really cute, really rustic apron. So here's our layout for the skirt. We have 3 of these main body panels, 3 of these ruffle panels, and then these are a bunch of offcuts of a bunch of other pieces I had that are gonna serve as the remainder to fill that ruffle in. And then we have this really cute 2-tiered lace that is gonna go right underneath the ruffle to form just like this really cute hem. So let's go ahead and get started with the ruffle, and we'll see how far we get tonight. So here's that skirt panel finished. I love the little ruffle on the end. I think it's so cute. Here's kind of a better visual. Actually, that was so much worse. Here's what our skirt looks like, and now I'm gonna attach elastic casings on each end here and here so that it'll fit snug around the waistband whenever I have the bodice on. And then once that is finished, we'll attach the bodice panels to the front and back of the skirt, and then I'll work on adding those eyelets. Hey guys, look at the progress we've made. So we've attached everything together, and now we're gonna do the eyelets on each of these panels. And then I also need to sew the shoulder panel still. And then otherwise, we will be basically done with this dress, and then we'll get to move on to the little apron situation. And if I haven't told you already, I already have an undershirt planned for this dress, which I think will look really cute and really nice and match Belle's vibe perfectly. So there's your little update, and hopefully she looks cute. Hey guys, look at all the progress we made. I've attached all the eyelets, and now we just have our apron left before we're done with this project. Here's the shirt I'm gonna be wearing underneath it, and then all we'll have to do is lace up the eyelets on the side. But she turned out so cute, and I'm very excited to see what she'll look like on. So we'll finish up with the apron real quick, and then we'll go out and film the final reveal. Here is the apron completely finished. I think she's super cute. She's a little bit quirky, but I'm gonna put that on the fact that I am just so tired right now. I'm headed back to my dorm today and I'm moving in, so I decided to finish this up right before I left. So all of that nerves for the new semester is finally hit, and I'm just exhausted. So now that we've finished the belt, now that we've finished the apron, we are completely finished for this project, and we can go to the final reveal.
So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, and without further ado, here's that final result.